Hello there. Welcome to Stevie's Earth-Based Kitchen. I am Stevie. Today we are going to a dinner party and I wanted to make something that was easy to bring over and of course vegan. So I thought, how about taking Marry Me chicken? Have you ever heard of Marry Me chicken? It's this famous chicken dish from, I think it's like a mid-century dish, and it's usually like a chicken meal for two, and it's supposed to be so good that it incites a proposal. But this is actually going to be a Marry Me bean and pasta dish for several people. And so I'm thinking about secretly calling it Free Love Legumes. All right, let's get started. Okay, we're going to start by adding about a tablespoon of oil to a pan, sauteing our vegetables. And the recipe is down in the description box. So this is a whole fennel bulb, which I've chopped up pretty finely. So we're going to saute this first with also a whole sweet red bell pepper. And you could be creative with the veggies. Like, my husband's allergic to mushrooms, so we don't put mushrooms in it, but you can put mushrooms in it. You don't have to put the fennel in it. I like putting the fennel in it because it gives it kind of like a sausage flavor, a sausagey flavor. And I like to salt as I go, and add some pepper. So I'm using about a package of Cavatapi pasta. This is gluten-free. It's Bonza. It's my favorite. I absolutely love it. That might actually be more than a package, but if it's too much, we'll just separate it out and use it for later. Now we're going to add our garlic. This is about 8 cloves of garlic. Being pretty generous with the garlic. If you don't like a lot of garlic, use less. I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of tomato paste. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe about 2 tablespoons. Tomato paste is awesome for that umami rich flavor. Oh, that smells really good. Well, we can actually add our oregano. Oh, that was supposed to be a teaspoon. Maybe it's a little more. And some thyme. Teaspoon of thyme. And a teaspoon of paprika. Normally I would use the smoked paprika, but I forgot to get it at the store. But this is a Hungarian paprika, and the flavor is really nice. So once you have everything prepared, the dish comes together pretty quickly. Okay, now I'm going to add some chopped up artichoke hearts. This is just something I thought I would add. It's not really part of the Marry Me recipe, but I thought it'd be fun. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more oil. Maybe we're talking 2 tablespoons. This is a dinner party. It's a special occasion. We're going to hang out with friends, which I can't think of anything cooler than that. So, you know, we're going to have a little bit more oil than usual. So good. Okay, we're going to put in about a half a cup of wine to deglaze it. And turn down that heat a little bit. And we're just going to let this simmer. Next thing we need to do is make the creamy aspect of the sauce, because This is really usually a non-vegan dish. Like the chicken obviously is not vegan, and the cream sauce is made with a heavy cream. But we're going to be making it with a cashew cream. I soaked about a cup of cashews in water overnight, and then I drained them. So that's what this is right here. And then we're going to add a little bit of sauerkraut. This is probably about a quarter cup of sauerkraut with juice. This is going to give it a cheesy flavor. A lot of people, when they make vegan cheese, they add lactic acid. Like you can buy lactic acid on Amazon. Well, sauerkraut is lacto-fermented, so it already has lactic acid in it. It's actually a pretty cheap way to produce your lactic acid, through fermentation. It's really, really easy to make sauerkraut. It's just cabbage and salt, and it produces lactic acid. So I think I have a video where I make sauerkraut, and if I do, I will link to it up here. So we're going to add our cashews to the blender with our sauerkraut. About a quarter cup of nutritional yeast, or nooch. About a cup of water. I forgot to reserve the water. I'm kind of rushing because I need to get this dinner done because we have to go. And it's okay. We'll fix it. We might not need it at all. It might be fine. So I made these beans. They're homemade beans. They're cannellini and some butter beans because that's what I had. I made them in a scrap broth, and that's why they're like this color. You want to use just 2 cans of beans, that's fine. This is 3 cups of beans. 2 cans equals roughly 3 cups. So we'll just put that in there. We're basically putting it all together. About a couple cups of water. And I have been soaking some sun-dried tomatoes, probably for about a half an hour. You don't have to soak them. These weren't oil packed. These were just dried in a packet, and it's about a cup. You don't have to soak them, but if you want them softer, I suggest soaking them. I've been preparing everything because you don't need to see my knife skills. They're not the best. And oftentimes chefs will come to my videos, and I think I just make them cringe. But home cooking is very different than chefing. With home cooking, you can be really creative on the spot, but if you're a chef, you gotta kind of do everything right, because the goal is consistency, and you've got other people working on the food as well. So everything needs to be consistent. Everybody expects consistency. Also, with chefing, like when you go out to eat to a really nice restaurant, or really to any restaurant, it's not like it's not food you want to eat every day, because there's just a lot of fat in it. And, like I'm using a bit more fat than I usually use, because it's a special occasion, and that's great for special occasions. But you don't want to, restaurant food every day. If you're gonna eat restaurant food every day, you need to be mindful of your portions. Okay, we want this pretty finely chopped. Okay, we're just gonna throw it in with the beans. What time is it, hon?
5:28.
Okay. We're going to throw this in here. So I got 15 minutes basically to get this done. So you can use lemon zest. Like, oftentimes, if it calls for lemon zest, I'll use preserved lemon. And this is about a tablespoon. Or you can use the lemon zest from a whole lemon. Going for about a teaspoon, I think about a teaspoon of mustard. Okay. This is no chicken bouillon. See how much we need of this. I think it's going to be just thick enough. We didn't need the pasta water. Oh, that looks so good. Oh my gosh. So I'm not putting the pasta in there right away because I actually, in my haste, I kind of cooked it a little bit more than I intended to. 1 package of frozen spinach. And we're going to put basil in at the last moment, but oh, that looks so good. Okay, we're just going to simmer this for a few minutes using about 20 leaves, a small bunch of basil. I'm so busy trying to get this video done, and he came in and made this gorgeous bowl. And I just couldn't take a moment to look at it, but isn't it absolutely incredible? He's so talented. Show him the top. Look at that top. I mean, that is amazing. I'm so proud of him. The people who were going over for dinner, they are colleagues of my husband. Like, well, the man works with my husband and then his wife. And I don't really know them I know them, but, you know, I haven't really hung out with them for any length of time. So I'm excited about it. No, I'm not going to tell them that it's free love legumes. I know better not to be that awkward. Really need to sharpen my knives because this is it. I'm just beating up the basil. That's all I'm doing. Look at this. This is why you sharpen up your knife. Like, look at this. It looks like bugs got to it. And it's probably affecting the flavor. Chefs would be dying because, you know, the way that you attack your food actually affects the flavor. Just throwing it in there. It works. Okay, I'm going to taste it. Really badly cut up basil. It smells so good. Hot. So good. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Well, that's it. I'm going to hopefully get some time to clean the kitchen. At least put the pasta away. And turn off the oven. Oh, I can't even clean the dishes because he's in the shower. Well, whatever. I'll let you know how it goes. I'll let you know how they liked it. They're going to be my first test market. And I'm going to ask them questions. I'm going to be like, is there too much preserved lemon? Should it be less creamy? Should it be more creamy? I'm just going to drive these people who I barely know crazy. He drives so fast. Oh my God. 50 miles per hour. What is that? 65? Michael! been several days since it's been about a week since the party. And I said I was going to report back to you about what the host and hostess thought about my free love legumes. Well, the hostess, I hate using that word, but I don't know, the hostess can't eat legumes. And, you know, the whole dish is legumes. Even the pasta's legumes. So she never tried it. And the host, well, let's dial back. They created a huge spread for us, like a whole bunch of food. They grilled like steak and stuff, which my husband had, and chorizo, and they even had Beyond Meat sausage for me, and all these salsas, and all these vegetables, all these roasted vegetables. They were so good. So there was just a ton of food there. And the host, the guy who was barbecuing, he didn't try my dish yet either. But he did take some, you know, to have later. So I didn't get to ask them. They weren't my focus group. But I did talk about it with my husband. He really loved the artichoke hearts. I like the artichoke hearts too, but I think that a half a can would be good. Or you could actually take something else out because there's just a lot going on in that dish. Maybe you could have just the beans and the artichoke hearts, because the artichoke was pretty meaty too. Or you could have the artichoke and the pasta, but maybe not all three, because the pasta kind of just got lost in it. So that's what I would suggest, not having all three together. And the preserved lemon, it was just too much. So I would recommend going with half that, maybe even a quarter of that, but I actually made adjustments in the recipe below. So I made it right. One thing that you should do when you're working with preserved lemon is to just chop it up really finely, or else you'll just get hits of it. They'll just overwhelm everything. They're a very kind of dominant flavor. But other than that, it was really super good. And I highly recommend that you try it yourself. And you don't have to do it with beans. You just use the sauce to put on tofu or tempeh or just pasta. It's a great sauce. Do whatever you want. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like it. It really helps my videos get seen to other people who would like it as well. Consider subscribing, hit the bell button to be notified, and share it with your friends. Bye.